After kidnapping a mentally handicapped girl, an illegal migrant brutally raped her for days in an abandoned building. However, the case became much more heinous when the victim's mother discovered the migrant's next plan for her helpless daughter. After her mentally disabled teen daughter was kidnapped and raped for several days, the girl's mother has come forward to reveal what the migrant rapist had planned next for her daughter. Photo credit, Pixabay, Fadil Sena, AFP, Getty Images. Thanks to the left's focus on multiculturalism, the West is welcoming in millions of mostly Muslim migrants from oppressive Islamic regimes. Of course, the opposition understands that liberal diversity is an unrealistic ideal that foolishly delineates all cultures as ideologies as equally valuable and moral. Unfortunately, this application allows the most brutal and aggressive culture to subjugate all others. For years, conservatives have cautioned that importing millions of Muslim migrants will endanger not only the safety of our citizens but Western values and democracy as well. Disturbingly, progressives have ignored these warnings, and now the tiny minority of extremists are already wreaking havoc in the West. Serving as a sinister harbinger to the U.S., a 30-year-old Muslim migrant known only as Kareem was recently convicted of kidnapping, drugging, and repeatedly raping a mentally disabled teen over the course of 3 days in Belgium. According to Belgian newspaper Le Dernier, the 19-year-old victim, who has the mental capacity of a 7- or 8-year-old child, was taken to an abandoned building in Liege in November 2014, where he held her as his personal sex slave. As disturbing as the case is, it took an alarming turn after the victim's mother revealed to journalists that the illegal migrant was relentlessly raping her daughter in a bid to impregnate the teen in order to secure his citizenship and escape being deported for a second time. The report confirms that Kareem was first extradited from Belgium in 2012, although the reason for his deportation is unclear, before returning just 2 years later and kidnapping the mentally disabled girl. The victim's mother explained that Kareem violently raped her daughter numerous times in the decrepit building over the course of several days because he wanted to create an anchor baby so that he could coerce the Belgian court system into letting him stay in the country. Kareem reportedly believed that impregnating the teen would guarantee him the opportunity to become a legal citizen, despite being previously deported and again illegally crossing the border. Although the 30-year-old migrant was denied citizenship, he received just 4 years in prison for the horrendous kidnapping, drugging, and repeated rape of the mentally challenged girl, Dutch newspaper AD reports. The 19-year-old victim testified against her abuser, telling the court that Kareem forced her to take sleeping pills before physically assaulting her and raping her until she bled. He then took her to a family planning clinic for a pregnancy test to determine if his plan had worked. "I did not have a choice because he was going to hit me. He pulled me by the hair," the victim told the court of the physical abuse. Outrageously, Kareem denied the allegations, claiming that he was only being accused because his accusers wanted to put him in prison at all costs. According to reports, Kareem immediately identified that the teen was mentally handicapped upon meeting her and that he purposefully targeted her because of her vulnerability. The court also heard that the girl had previously fallen victim to another rapist. The case paints a bleak portrait of multicultural Europe. The most vulnerable of citizens is preyed upon by an immigrant society has graciously taken in. However, the most disturbing element of the story is that Kareem understands the flaws in our system and seeks to exploit them. He knows that Europe's compassion provides migrant criminals the ability to not only avoid deportation but also obtain the privilege of citizenship, as is the case with many violent illegals. Of course, if more Westerners knew that this exact brutality is sanctioned by the Quran, millions would be taking to the streets to demand the end of mass migration. Quran 4:24, 23-5-6, and 33-50, and all married women are forbidden unto you, save those captives, whom your right hands possess. Even sex with married slaves is permissible. Quran 8-69, but now, enjoy what you took in war, lawful and good. A reference to war booty, of which slaves were a part. The Muslim slave master may enjoy his catch because, according to verse 71, Allah gave you mastery over them. Quran 24:32, and marry those among you who are single and those who are fit among your male slaves and your female slaves. Breeding slaves based on fitness, so that none would misinterpret Allah's approval of sexual slavery. The Prophet Muhammad I not only practiced it himself but encouraged his men to rape and impregnate captive women. Abu Dawud 2150, the Apostle of Allah, may peace be upon him, sent a military expedition to Wadis on the occasion of the Battle of Hunain. They met their enemy and fought with them. They defeated them and took them captives. Some of the companions of the Apostle of Allah, may peace be upon him, were reluctant to have intercourse with the female captives in the presence of their husbands who were unbelievers. So Allah, be exalted, sent down the Quranic verse, Quran 4:24, and all married women are forbidden unto you, save those captives, whom your right hands possess. This is the background for verse 4:24 of the Quran. Not only does Allah give permission for women to be captured and raped, but allows it to even be done in front of their husbands. See also Muslim 3432. Quran and the example of Islam's perfect man, to rape and impregnate a vulnerable young woman. This is just one of the many commands that supports the argument for banning the Quran. Its words incite violence, which is beyond the liberty of free speech. Because of its words, Muslims have raped, enslaved, and slaughtered innocent individuals since their prophet first showcased this behavior. Facebook has greatly reduced the distribution of our stories in our readers' news feeds and is instead promoting mainstream media sources. When you share on social media, however, you greatly help distribute our content. Please take a moment and consider sharing this article with your friends and family. Thank you.